Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, we are officially live on YouTube. Let me go live on my TikTok. Yes, if you want to go ahead and follow me on TikTok, all you simply have to do, if you just go to TikTok, is Royal Figures, and simply you'll find me on TikTok that way. Very simple, very simple. All right, man. Let's kind of go ahead and get into the conversation, man. What we're going to be talking about with Aja Wilson and her comments about Caitlin Clark. I agree with Aja. Let me just start off by saying I agree with Aja Wilson. I agree with her thoughts. I agree with her feelings about the situation. I've posted a good bit of content on my TikTok page. You can find me over at TikTok at Royal Figures about the situation dealing with Caitlin Clark. I feel race does play an important factor in the reasoning Caitlin Clark is getting all of the marketing views. One thing that I dislike, and let me be very clear on what I'm about to say, is that when you know that Nike gave Caitlin Clark close to a $30 million signature shoe deal, and you have someone like a Aja Wilson who is proven, who is a national champion in college, and someone who has won multiple WNBA championships in the WNBA as a professional. She's clearly a winner. What has Caitlin Clark win at? What has she won? Caitlin Clark has never won a national championship in her years in college at Iowa. She just started. She's a rookie in the WNBA. But yet, Caitlin Clark gets all of the publicity. But yet, Caitlin Clark gets all of the marketing that's coming her way, like she is the savior, like she is the angel that's coming to save the WNBA. And that couldn't be nothing more false in this world. That is a lie. It is Caitlin Clark is not the reasoning why you have charter flights in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark is not the sole reasoning why you have this influx in the popularity of the WNBA. Let me give you some facts on the reasoning why the WNBA is growing, because you have people like University of South Carolina, Dawn Staley as the head coach, that is coaching the hell out of her team, and her team is winning national championships. This is the reason why you have more views of people watching women's college basketball than people watching men's college basketball. Then you're talking about another level. You're talking about the Las Vegas Aces. Yes, I don't respond to people that's talking about, oh, keep crying. She is absolutely directly responsible for a surge in rating. Let me tell you something. She is not the reasoning. She's not the sole reasoning. Listen, open up your ears. Take the wax out of your ears. This is what I'm saying to you, is that this is why when you have ignorance and people come with ignorance, not knowing that one person is not the sole reasoning why the sport is growing. That's asinine. That's crazy thinking. That type of thinking does not make sense. One person does not allow the growth of the WNBA. The focus, let me just tell you this. Did you see the first game of the WNBA? A lot of people were so focused on Caitlin Clark scoring 20 points, but they're not focusing on she had 10 turnovers. They're not focusing on the other team that helped beat the Indiana Fever. This is what I'm saying. See, what has been created and who's partially responsible for this is the media. It's Nike. Because there is no way in the world, if I was Nike, why in the world I'm going to give somebody who's not proven themselves in the WNBA, hear me clearly, someone who's not proven themselves in the WNBA, but yes, they come to the WNBA who's not won a single game and they get a $30 million contract. Close to a $30 million contract, a signature shoe deal. When you have someone like Asia Wilson, who is a proven winner, who is a better overall player than Caitlin Clark. I said it. Asia Wilson is a dog. Asia Wilson is the true measure of what being a constant professional is. Asia Wilson is a WNBA champion. She is tried. She is proven. She has won at the highest level. And for Nike to not promote Asia Wilson to the extent where she needs to be promoted is asinine to me. It's crazy to me. And we're going to get into the article, what Asia Wilson had to say about the Caitlin Clark situation. And I think it's so very important that so many people are on this bandwagon off someone. And I don't hate Caitlin Clark. Let me be very clear. I don't hate Caitlin Clark. But one thing I dislike is all this exposure that Caitlin Clark is getting, and she hasn't won in anything. All those things that people are calling her the GOAT this, the GOAT that. What has Caitlin Clark won? Have she ever won a national championship? No. Has Caitlin Clark won a WNBA championship? Obviously, we know that because she just started in the WNBA. No. So what is the promotion is all about? What is all this markability is all about? Why you have Nike is coming in and want to sign her to a 28, almost a $30 million signature shoe deal? Why not promote the players that have won? Come on, man. We got to get with the program. We have to stop this nonsense thinking that that Caitlin Clark is the sole reason why we have all this type of this growth that's climbing up the charts in the WNBA. It's not because of just Caitlin Clark. Let me go ahead and make sure we have to stop this, man. So let's go ahead and get into the story. So Asia Wilson, she did an interview. Let's kind of go into her credentials, Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson is a 5-time WNBA All-Star. Let me say this again. Asia Wilson is a 5-time WNBA All-Star. Asia Wilson is a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Let me keep going off her resume. Asia Wilson is a 2-time WNBA champion. But in this article, it explains, but the Las Vegas Aces and Wilson's greatness continues to be overshadowed by Caitlin Clark. Why is that? Why is that? I need to address the elephant in the room. Why is that? It's because of her skin color. It's because she is white. It's because let me tell you this. Because there is no other way you should be promoting her as much as is happening right now, because she's never won in college. She's never won a national championship. She just started as a rookie in the WNBA, so she doesn't even have the resume of being a WNBA champion. So what is the reason? I just said it. Oh, she is the savior of the WNBA. That could be that's a lie. She's not a savior. She hasn't even won as a savior. So the problem that I'm getting at is that A'ja Wilson has an issue. A'ja Wilson teams is WNBA champions. Why are they not getting promoted? Why Nike is not backing A'ja Wilson and giving her a signature shoe deal? Why Nike is not backing A'ja Wilson and giving her close to a $30 million contract? Because she has proven it. I know why. Caitlin Clark is beloved because she's white. She's beloved because she can shoot three-pointers. Let me tell y'all something, man. You have to do more as a professional, and you have to win. You have to do more than just shoot three-pointers. You can shoot them 2 or 3 feet beyond the women's three-point line, but there's more to that when they're talking about winning championships. You have to play defense, right? You have to galvanize your team, right? This is what A'ja Wilson did when she was at college at the University of South Carolina. She was the leader of that team. She led her team to a national championship. Did Caitlin Clark do that? No. Then A'ja Wilson took her talents to the WNBA. She's the leader of that team, the Las Vegas Aces, and she led her team to 2 back-to-back championships. That's a leader, y'all. That's a leader. But you know what? Some people don't want to hear that stuff. They don't want to hear that. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth. And you know what? The people that are in their feelings, the people that are mad, the people that are angry, the people that are saying that, you know what, people like me are crying. No, we're not crying. We're stating the facts. We're stating the obvious of what's going on, and we're exposing it, and we're using our platforms to spread the truth. That's what we're doing. We're using our platform. This is not something we have to do, but if it's something that means something to you and you want to call out the blatant procrastination, the blatant just disregard for a WNBA champion and their team, and you're giving all the market value to someone who hasn't even proven themselves in the WNBA yet, that's the problem that I have. That's the problem. Now, this is what A'ja Wilson had to say. Now, let's kind of go into this article when they say that the unprecedented amount of attention surrounding Caitlin Clark has sparked discussion about race, with some questioning whether the NCAA career scoring leaders metric rise is at least partially fueled by the fact that she is a white woman who played college basketball in Middle America. From A'ja Wilson's point of view, Caitlin Clark's race plays a significant role in the way she has been marketed and promoted. That is a fact. That is an absolute fact. Aja Wilson went on to say that I think it's a huge thing. I think a lot of people may say it's not about black and white, but to me, Aja Wilson said, but to me, it is about black and white. This is how she responded when the Associated Press asked about the race element in Caitlin Clark's popularity. Man, what do you hear most about in the WNBA? Caitlin Clark this, Caitlin Clark that. Caitlin Clark is the savior. She's coming on a white horse and she's saving the WNBA. This is Caitlin Clark's doing. Whoop-de-doo. Woo! She's our savior. Man, miss me with that, man. Caitlin Clark is not the savior. See, what y'all going to see is a crash course. And I'm not wishing nothing bad on Caitlin Clark, but you have to understand, Caitlin Clark is going against professional women in the WNBA. And you have a lot of professional women that has been playing this game for years that have a chip on their shoulder. So every time they get the opportunity to play against Caitlin Clark is going to get their 110% best. You saw it against the Connecticut Sun. What did you see? You saw a team that was motivated. You saw a team that had a chip on their shoulder. Let me tell y'all something, man. Some of y'all yahoos want to come on my platform and you want to talk this BS, talking about I'm crying, talking about, hey man, why this ain't has nothing to do with race. Y'all are blind as a bat and y'all don't understand nothing of what y'all talking about. This has everything to do with race. Everything. And if someone tells you that it's not, you are a liar. And this is what I have a problem with. Nike, this big corporation, Nike, and we have a lot of people like me who have bought Nike shoes, but I will not buy another pair of Nike shoes because y'all did not do the right thing here. I am boycotting Nike. I am not buying another pair of Nike shoes because I have a problem in how they represent people that are under them, that they have signed. It should not have taken this situation where Nike went out there and signed Caitlin Clark to a $28, $29, almost a $30 million signature shoe deal, and you got somebody who y'all have worked with, Aja Wilson, and she doesn't have a signature shoe yet. Aja Wilson is a two-time WNBA champion. Aja Wilson deserved her respect. And let me tell y'all something. Nike did not give her no respect. And the only reason it came out that Aja Wilson's supposed to be getting a signature shoe deal, yeah, you said that Aja Wilson's been working on her shoe for 2 years. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. It don't take that long. Come on, man. Don't give me that crap. They just got exposed. Nike got exposed. Nike got exposed. I'm telling you, Nike got exposed. Listen to me and listen to me good. Nike has a role that they played in this that I did not like. They jumped on the bandwagon. They were drinking the Kool-Aid of Caitlin Clark. You need to be drinking the Kool-Aid of Aja Wilson and her team. That's the Kool-Aid we need to be drinking on. We need to be the more views need to be on the defending champions because they're doing something great, which they have a great opportunity to win for a third time in a row. A three-peat. How about let's talk about that? Let's talk about that. They're doing something. You have the best player in the WNBA, who is A'ja Wilson. Am I lying? Tell me in the chat, who is the best player in the WNBA? I'll tell you, A'ja Wilson. I'll tell you, it's A'ja Wilson. Tell me somebody else, chat, in the chat. Somebody else tell me who else is better than A'ja Wilson. That's right. Nobody can say another name because A'ja Wilson is a proven winner. Put some respect on A'ja Wilson. And this is why A'ja Wilson is saying what she's saying in this article. And I support and stand with A'ja Wilson. Let's go a little bit further. Look at the champion. Look at the champion. Look at the champion. She has put the work in. She has put the time in. She's proven. She's won on every level that she's played in. She won a national championship in college. She won a WNBA championship twice in the pros. A'ja Wilson went on to say that some black women are at a disadvantage when it comes to marketing opportunities. A'ja Wilson suggested that if black women are successful on the basketball court, they are still often forgotten. This is the problem. This is the problem that I have. Caitlin Clark has not won anything. Caitlin Clark has not won in anything. She has not won not one near national championship when she was in college, but yet she gets all this publicity. She gets all this marketing. Some would say she gets more marketing and publicity more than the national championship team who beat Caitlin Clark and their team, which is the University of South Carolina. And let me be very clear on what I'm about to say. I like the coach, Dawn Staley. I believe she's one heck of a coach. I like Dawn Staley, but let me be very clear on what I'm about to say. I did not like that comment at all on what she said after her team beat Caitlin Clark in the hour. I did not like her comment when she says that Caitlin Clark is a GOAT. Man, miss me with that. There is no way you can be a GOAT if you never won a national championship. What are we doing here? Dawn Staley was so far up Caitlin Clark behind. Some people gonna say, oh, Dawn Staley had class. Man, miss me with that, man. You had a player, Raven Johnson, who was the leader and point guard of Dawn Staley University of South Carolina team, and she had a chip on her shoulder against Caitlin Clark. You know why? She talked to Dawn Staley about it. When she played against Caitlin Clark last year, you had Caitlin Clark that was throwing her hand and waving her girl by, you can't shoot, and leaving her open 15 feet. Now, whose fault is that? I'm not saying that's Caitlin Clark's fault. That's Raven Johnson. You got to work on your game. You got to get better, and you have to have a jump shot where the defense have to respect you. But what I'm saying to you, when you have a player on your team, the way she was playing Caitlin Clark, the way she played full court defense against Caitlin Clark, she was on a mission against Caitlin Clark in the team hour. And it proved itself. Then you got Don Staley that want to call Caitlin Clark the GOAT. Man, Miss Witt, enjoy your championship with your team. Keep glorifying your team because your team did something that was historically great. Undefeated season, not one loss. Praise your team because you deserve your accolades, Don Staley, but don't sit up here and kiss up to somebody who never has won in anything. Caitlin Clark is no GOAT. Caitlin Clark cannot be called the GOAT, the greatest of all time, when she's never won a championship. But yet she's being marketed like she's won a championship. And let me tell you another thing I didn't like about the situation with Caitlin Clark. What has been done historically? Every national championship team gets to go to the White House, the winning team. But when you had Joe Biden's wife, and Joe Biden signed off on it too, they sent an invitation to Caitlin Clark's team and our team to come to the White House when they didn't even win. You know who won? Angel Reese and LSU won the national championship. How you gonna have the losing team come to the White House? See, this is why Angel Wilson is saying what she's saying. And some of you yahoos, y'all get it, but y'all don't want to get it. See, this is the undertone that I'm talking about. How you going to have a team, the losing team, get an invitation to the White House? That is something that has never been done before. How? That's crazy. This is what Angel Wilson is putting out to the atmosphere. This is what boils her blood. This is her dislike of the media and what they have been doing with the popularity of Caitlin Clark. Because truth be told, Caitlin Clark has never won in college in a national championship. But yet she gets all the markability like she has. That's a problem. Let's read on what Angel Wilson had to say in this interview. Angel Wilson said that it really is because you can be top notch at what you are as a black woman, but yet maybe that's something that people don't want to see. They don't see it as markability. So it doesn't matter how hard I work, Angel Wilson said. She went on to say that it doesn't matter what we all do as black women, we're still going to be swept underneath the rug. That's why it boils my blood when people say it's not about race, because it is. And if anybody get on my doggone platform and start talking that crazy talk and telling me that this has nothing to do with race, that shows your level of ignorance. That really shows your level of ignorance to the obvious facts that's going on right in front of your eyes. And if you're going to stand there or sit there and going to tell me that race has nothing to do with it, you are part of the problem. Let me be very clear. You are part of the problem, and you are just as naive as the media is hyping this situation up, and some of these big brands that are marketing Caitlin Clark like she has won at something. Now, in this article, it says that the WNBA has struggled to attract a high level of attention and viewership throughout almost the league's entire existence. But the incoming rookie class, headlined by Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and others, is on pace to reverse the league's fortunes. Others have questioned whether the WNBA was more focused on promoting Clark instead of seizing the golden opportunity to uplift the league as a whole. That's the problem that I have. That's the problem right there. That's what rooted and grounded in just the race part that's coming into the situation. And if the WNBA is not careful, they will fumble the bag very quickly if they don't show a balance of uplifting the league as a whole. That's the key here. But you're being too top heavy. What I mean by that, you're putting all of your eggs into one person, Caitlin Clark. You're putting all of the attention into one person as Caitlin Clark. You need to have balance. And when you have balance, that means you bring a strong foundation. That means you bring structure. You bring structure to your organization, which it can grow with balance. See, this is the problem where it says, and it's going to bring up, fans were surprised when Angel Reese's preseason debut against the Minnesota Lynx was unavailable to watch via the WNBA app in early May. The Minnesota Lynx coach, Cheryl Reeve, encouraged fans to attend the game in person or follow along with the game via play-by-play. The WNBA apologized for its app incorrectly listing the Sky's preseason matchup with the Minnesota Lynx as being available to watch and attempted to clarify its broadcast schedule, saying the Indiana Fever's preseason opener was the only game the league planned to broadcast. This is the manipulation. How in the world, when I tell you the WNBA dropped the ball big time, you were so fixated on showing Caitlin Clark's preseason debut that you didn't even make sure that there was a balance to make sure that the Angel Reese debut was televised. Because most of their heads was so far up Caitlin Clark's behind. After the game, the Lynx head coach Reeve made it clear that Clark isn't the WNBA's only valuable player. Now, this is a head coach for the opposing teams. Let it be very clear on what she said. Cheryl Reeve, the head coach for Minnesota Lynx, said, let me be very clear, Caitlin Clark isn't the WNBA's only valuable player. She went on to say, the head coach for the Minnesota Lynx said, certainly, Caitlin Clark's first game, they were going to value. I'm all for that. I get it. People want to see that, but they also want to see it's not just about Caitlin Clark. And see, that's the problem with some of y'all yahoos have to understand. Y'all keep talking about Caitlin Clark this, Caitlin Clark that, and you're not showing value to other WNBA players who brings just as much valuable winning play to the WNBA, and Caitlin Clark has not even proven that yet. Can you imagine that you are a professional WNBA player and you're watching us in real time on how Caitlin Clark, who has not even played not one professional game in the WNBA, and she's getting all this exposure? What do you think? How do you think that makes the other professional players who are proven, who are winners, how do you think that make them feel? Let me answer that question for you. It pisses them off. It makes them mad. It gets them upset. The coach went on to say that this isn't Caitlin Clark's fault in any way. It's more, the recognition that there's general excitement about the WNBA in ways that we haven't seen before. And so we have to capitalize to really ensure that this is a movement that is best for the WNBA. Come on, man. Come on. Y'all want to listen to what she said? Let's listen to it. She said that. That's the opposing team coach. Come on, man. Come on, man. You heard what she said. If you don't take my word for it, look, take the word of a head coach of a WNBA team. They see it. And she's white. She's a white head coach. She sees the hypocrisy. She sees how unbalanced it is. She sees what's going on. She's calling it out. Come on, man. You got to do better than this, WNBA. Come on. Look at this. In April, the Wall Street Journal reported that Caitlin Clark signed a record-breaking signature shoe deal with athletic footwear and apparel giant Nike. The deal represented the most lucrative contract in history for a woman's basketball player. On May 11th, this is the comments on May 11th of Nike. On May 11th, Nike announced, May 11th of this year of 2024, this year of 2024. So this is what I want to address, Southside, Chi-Town, when you made the comments and saying Asia Wilson been working on her shoe for 2 years. Her shoe comes out this year. Let me address that. The article is addressed on May 11th, 2024. If they have been working on her shoe for 2 years, Southside Chi-Town, which is not true, then you tell me why we've never heard about it. You tell me why after the fact, after they signed Caitlin Clark to her historic contract, the first in women's history, they signed Caitlin Clark to a signature shoe deal almost worth $30 million, but yet you have the audacity to come out your mouth on May the 11th and make a comment saying that we have, since 2018, was finally getting her own signature shoe deal. Make it make sense. Southside Chi-Town, make it make sense. It doesn't. And let me put you on game. Let me put you on game. You know the reason why Nike came out? Because they was kind of forced to from a publicity perspective. See, this is probably their image publicist team probably had communicated to Nike, the president of Nike, and probably said that you need to make a statement because Nike ain't looking good right now. You already signed Caitlin Clark, but yet you got Aja Wilson, who is a part of Nike in some fashion, and she hasn't had a shoe deal out, but you got Caitlin Clark signed. And let's just go if your statement was true. Let's just say Southside Chi-Town, if your statement was true, which is not. I guarantee you this, it would not take Nike 2 years to get Caitlin Clark's shoe out. I promise you that. It wouldn't take Nike 2 years to get her shoe out. This is the problem that I'm talking about. This is the hypocrisy that I'm talking about. This is what Aja Wilson is talking about, that this has everything to do with race. This has everything to do with race. They saw somebody who they felt has market value to the world because the color of her skin. Because let me be very clear. The top players in the WNBA, most of them are black. You have some white good players in the WNBA, but the problem lies is why the black women in the WNBA are not getting exploited in a positive way for market value to be able to get more deals. Why it's not happening? Do you know how long it's been since a black professional women's basketball player has gotten their own signature shoe deal? Do y'all know? Y'all put it in the chat. If you're listening to me, put it in the chat. Who was the last black women's basketball player who got their signature shoe? I'm going to tell y'all. I'm going to give y'all opportunity to put it in the chat for me if you know. Who was the last black? See, the fact that y'all have to think about it. Some of y'all going to go and Google it. Some of y'all going to Google it. But it's the fact that you have to think about it shows the hypocrisy from these big, giant apparels and shoe sneaker creators, people like Nike. It was Candace Parker. Candace Parker got her signature shoe deal. She's the last black woman to do so. And you know how long that was? That was back in 2010. Candace Parker back in 2010. This is what I'm talking about, people. Wake up. This is the hypocrisy that I'm talking about. This is why Aja Wilson is saying what she's saying. Now, this is what Nike put out. You thought we'd sleep on a SEC champion, national champion, #1 draft pick, 5-time All-Star, U.S. Olympic gold winner, WNBA Finals MVP, a statue having New York Times bestseller, Time 100 most influential people in 2024, 2-time WNBA champion, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time WNBA MVP, and pettiest hooper on the internet. You thought, of course, Aja's got a shoe. Wilson's former college coach Don Staley also celebrated the WNBA star's shoe deal by rocking, and of course, I have a shoe.com t-shirt. Let's listen to what Don Staley says. Yeah. Yeah. See, Chi-Town? See what I was saying? You said come out this year. I'm telling you, you got to know your facts, Chi. You got to know your facts. I'm telling you, I know this. I do my homework. I do my research. Hey, y'all don't forget to like this stream, man. Share this stream. Even some of you haters out there, share it. Aja Wilson's signature shoe comes out in 2025. I said that. 2025. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now. They just started working on this shoe. They ain't been working on Aja's shoe for 2 years. That's a marketing distraction. They're trying to fool us. They're trying to fool you. People called out Nike. Because guess what? Aja Wilson has support. Aja Wilson has support. And when people started calling out Nike, Nike had to get with their publicists and had to come with a strategic plan to show people like they've been working on Aja Wilson's shoe. Aja Wilson's shoe should have been out. The Aja Wilson brand with Nike should have been out. Period. Period. Now, we're going to get into the situation on what Caitlin Clark had to say in response to Aja Wilson. We're going to get into that because I'm not done. Of course, you're going to have Don Staley to speak on behalf of her former player. Of course, Don Staley going to give that little sob, mopey bope. You know, nice try, Don Staley, but I got you. I understand what you're doing. That's PR. I understand what you're doing. That's PR for Nike. You're trying to keep that relationship good with Nike. I understand what you're doing. Let's get into it, man. Come on, guys. We can't be so naive like that. Let's get into it. Let's see what Caitlin Clark has to say. Y'all want to hear what Caitlin Clark had to say? The block is hot. The block is hot. Hot, hot. The block is hot. The block is hot. Hot, hot. Now, Caitlin Clark was asked if she had any response to the Las Vegas Aces superstar forward Aja Wilson's recent claim that the Indiana Fever star's enormous popularity was linked to her race, which is a fact. Caitlin Clark said this, y'all. She began by saying she was unaware of Wilson's remark, but handled the question nonetheless when made aware of the message the Aces star conveyed, that Clark being white has afforded her advantages others don't enjoy. This is what Caitlin Clark said. I think that there's opportunities for every single player in women's basketball. Really? Really, Caitlin? Really? She went on to say, that was laughable to me. She went on to say that I think the more opportunities we can give across the board, that's what's going to elevate women's basketball. Oh, no crap, Sherlock. She went on to say, Caitlin Clark, it doesn't need to be one or two players, and I think that even goes back to college. I think we can. The parity in women's basketball is what's making more people want to come and watch it. I think the more you spread the love, show people, show their talent, show their teams, that's just going to continue to elevate it. So I think that's the biggest thing. While Caitlin Clark hasn't said anything that would necessarily spark any tensions between black and white players, the endorsement deals that Caitlin Clark has already signed have led to some discourse about double standard in women's pro basketball. You don't say. Come on, man. Come on, man. This is what I'm saying, man. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, y'all, I had to jump on and do a live on this story. I had to get some things off my chest because I don't like it. I don't like it. It's almost the same thing that happens in the workforce. The qualifications that they put on black people are not the same qualifications that they put on white people. I'm trying to tell y'all this. I'm telling you, this is what happens in the corporate world, and it's no difference in what's happening in what's happening right now. Aja Wilson said it. Some of y'all can be mad all you want, but it's the truth. Some of y'all can try to drown her out and saying that she's a hater. No, she's not. Aja Wilson is not a hater. You just mad because Aja Wilson's using her platform and her likability to expose what's going on. And in a roundabout way, she exposed Nike. She exposed the media. She exposed on what they're doing and how Caitlin Clark is being pushed out like a machine. She's seen everywhere. She has so many commercials everywhere that's being exposed across the country. Caitlin Clark this, Caitlin Clark that. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this right now. Caitlin Clark has never won no national championship in college, And she has never won a WNBA title. Of course, we know she hasn't won that because she's just started. But this is why I say what I say. Is that Aja Wilson is saying that a black person has to be 10 times better to even get looked at, not promoted, but even to be looked at. They have to go above and beyond. They have to be great. They have to be transcended to even get a look. While white people, they can do the bare minimum and they still get promoted. They could do the bare minimum and still get pushed out like they've done something that's so great that nobody else has ever done. Will this ever change? I don't know. You know, race has been a part in our country for so long, hundreds and hundreds of years. And you know what? It's pathetic. It's pathetic. But we have to continue to fight the good fight and talk about things like this, that when it happens, it has to be exposed. Because if Aja Wilson never had said nothing, if she would have went on with the get along game and just keep her mouth shut, keep playing basketball, if she would have did that, then guess what? The next person, the next black woman that's coming up, that's just as good as Aja Wilson, they would have been facing the same issue that Aja Wilson is dealing with. This is why I am a supporter and a promoter of speaking up when things are not going right. Speaking up when you are being mistreated. Even if you are the only person that's speaking up. Even if you going to get criticized to the fact that you are a hater. Even if you getting demonized that you are no good, that you are the problem person. Even if it means that, even if it means that you may have to lose your job, if you know that you're standing up for something that is right, even if it means that you may get whiteballed, blackballed, you have to speak up and stand up for something. Because if you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. The great quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm going to see y'all, man, on the next video. Don't forget to like this live stream. I'm streaming on YouTube right now. You can go ahead and follow me on YouTube at Royal Figures as well. I'm live right now on TikTok, Royal Figures. Appreciate everyone for viewing this content. Do me a favor. You can send me some gifts on TikTok. Send some diamonds or gifters. It'd be greatly appreciated. Appreciate the followers, the new followers that I have that join me on TikTok. Don't forget to like and share this live stream because it needs to be shared because the truth was spoken in this live stream. You may not like it. You may not like it. But let's be very clear. The truth was exposed. Take care.